everybody. Oh my God, that thing is loud. How are you doing? Yeah? I'm looking for some Kigali love. So when I say hi, you say hi. Hi? Hi. Hi at the back? Awesome. Okay. So I have 2 poems. And she was looking at her mirror and saying, they don't have this mascara in my shade, you know? So she was frustrated because apparently she didn't have, no, it was foundation, sorry. We don't get these things as guys. Yeah, so she was worried about the foundation. Okay. So this is, enjoy the poem, yeah? Okay. They marked you as one who would be stretched out on the canvas of lies. Painted melanin dark like clouds carrying thunder and storm that will fold their bowels in shock. Tell me, was it your skin? Or the flaws that came in its layers? Was it how you wore the flawed beauty of your enchanted chocolate skin? Was it how you embraced its graceful stretch like endless Kalahari desert sand dunes? They set you apart. They told you the beauty of a color that they knew will never be yours. They told you that your color was dirty. Daughter, isn't that the origin of all skin, black, brown, and white alike? Isn't it from the dirt and ash of this earth that we came? Isn't it to the dirt and ash of this earth that we shall all escape? They came in their ships and they littered our shorelines. They taught us tongues we could not understand because our tongues stretched their vocal cords to lengths even their ships had not yet traveled. They couldn't understand how chocolate could look so good on human skin. How we looked like we bathed in milk and honey, how the sun showing on our skin made it glow. They became obsessed with our cocoa. Their tongues could not stop thirsting for our sweet black Ethiopian Arabica coffee. We had lived 1,000 years before them. Dynasties of delectable black women carrying the weight of delectable melanin skin like royalty. You will see them on adverts on our screens. You will see them on billboards on city streets, advertising to you the beauty of a pale skin. They will want you thinking that a fair shade is the standard, that your shade is at the bottom of the pyramid. But honey, aren't pyramids Egyptian? Isn't Egypt African? Isn't Africa melanin? Isn't melanin you? You see, with bated breath, they dread the day that you will embrace the truth about the thunder that lives in your delectable melanin skin. Thank you. Now, gentlemen, if you're here, just wave. I want to see how many people I'm talking to. Awesome. Yeah. So, there's that one X. Yeah, there's that one X. Okay, you leave each other, but you always feel like I was still a better option for her. You know, I mean, who is this guy she's rolling around with? Like, look at me. You left me for this guy? You know? So this is just to pump you up, yeah? Make you feel good. Oh my God, okay. If he asks you who I was, tell him I was the jelly in your knees each time our skins touched. Tell him I was the husky husky in your voice each time I nibbled at your ear when he asks you who I was. Tell him. Tell him I was the warmth of summer, the chill of winter, the anticipation of spring. When he asks you what I was to you, tell him. Tell him I was the glorious crescendo of a song we sang in the back alleys of ecstasy. Tell him I was the bated breath, the gritted teeth, the sweat, the panting when he asks you who I was to you. Tell him. Yeah. Tell him I was the last breath of Romeo leaving his mouth in the peace of a kiss on Juliet's lips. Tell him I was the last drop of dew on the petals of a blooming flower. Tell him I was the length of a kiss, the charm of a poet. When he asks you who I was to you, tell him. And in all you are telling, tell him this, that I was and he is. Tell him that a stone thrown in yesterday's pond water cannot disturb today's peace. Or don't tell him. I mean, when he asks you who I was to you, tell him I was a confusion with someone, an acquaintance. Tell him this because he's not asking to know the truth. He is asking for assurance. When he asks you who I was to you, smile. Tell him that you love him. Then proceed to look at the moon with a tinge of nostalgia, because as the moon is to the sun, so is he my very, very pale reflection. Thank you.